Oh yes, we are back on your screens. It is that Friday feeling, and it's a scary Friday feeling because we in the UK at the moment have got 70-mile-an-hour plus winds hitting us from all sides. It's pretty scary. I've lost half my fence. The hangar is still standing at the moment. Touch wood. Pray for me. Anyway, enough of that. So last Monday, as I said, we went to the British Drone Racing Association with O2 and Virgin Media on the back of Vista 5G at the Don Stadium in Milton Keynes. Of course, that was a mouthful. Anyway, I went to watch a race, or a quad race, with some great pilots. They really were on HDZERO systems, which is obviously a digital system, which is fantastic. I mean, considering we was in a Faraday cage, as I keep saying, Faraday cage. How many times did I say Faraday cage? Have a look, anyway. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I wasn't able to interview all the pilots, just some of them were just too busy, some of them just didn't want to speak to me. My taser had run out of battery, so I couldn't taser them into me. But we got a few pilots, and I have to say now that the volume or the audio is not that good, and I do apologise really for now, but it's more the content of what they were saying that's more important. But I was in the wrong place, and for some reason I had a lovely microphone, and I don't know if it wasn't clicked into the camera properly or whatever, but it looked like the actual camera, the audio on the camera was picking up, which shows you that it's pretty good camera, really. But I'm really annoyed about that. But it's the first time I kind of interview people, but what stars they were. Fantastic. Anyway, have a little look at this. Here we go. Why they are pumping up the little gates. We thought we'd grab a pilot. And you are, sir?
I'm Brian Barrett, pilot named Geek Guy.
Geek Guy, we like that, Geek Guy. So what kit are they using today?
So drone-wise, we've got the 533 Switchback Pro.
Okay.
With F60 motors, Hubwing F7 flight controller, and of course the HDZERO
HDZERO system. What are you making of the HDZERO? Do you think it's the next best thing?
Oh, it's definitely a step up from analog. Yeah. Picture and clarity in the picture, and that HD feel for it, 720p. Yeah, it's
pretty rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in a stadium, and in a stadium it's just full of metal and pipes and everything else. So I mean, we did see it on the big screen. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it does.
It does look pretty for real. So, okay, great. All right, we kidnapped somebody else. Who are you, sir?
I'm Jacob Blake.
And do you go by a tag name?
Blakey FPV.
Blakey FPV. Nice and simple. All right, what have you got here? Tell me a bit about your kit. What are you using?
This is a new HDZERO system. Standard components really, so I use an atomite frame. The other frame is the Cherrycraft Stamina I use. Heads up 533 motors, T-motor EFC, Foxy flight controller, and then we use HD VTX and camera.
That's pretty cool. You've done all this sort of 3D printing stuff. I don't know if people can see that. You want to look at that?
Hold a bit
Did you do all that yourself?
So yeah, I redesigned all the components myself for the grey bits.
Very exciting.
To hold the camera properly, and the antenna at the back. I've also created the LED holders that you can see.
Yeah.
On top and bottom, just to make it a bit neater, because no one likes LEDs.
Well, they look great around here anyway in the stadium. So, most important, HDZERO. What do you think about it?
It's brilliant. It's a lot different to what I've been used to, just analog, so 480p. Still getting used to the bit of the newer resolution. I'll be able to see things, so not getting distracted by the other things. Mm-hmm. The latency, definitely a bit noticeable, but I get used to it. But yeah, apart from that, it's really good.
Do you think it's a move forward?
It's definitely push forward. It's definitely going to grow like analog did. Hopefully get a lot smaller, a bit cheaper for everyone else. Yeah.
So what got you into sort of drone racing? Anyway, it's the biggest question for everybody.
Yeah.
What prompted you to want to race?
I was 16, 17, now 22. I saw a video online. It was with LEDs on, people racing around the forest.
Cool.
And that's what got me into it pretty much. I just saw one video. I've always been into something RC. Yeah, just went from there.
Fantastic.
Spent all my pocket money on that, and then, yeah.
That's the best way. There could be worse things to spend pocket money on. Come on, let's talk about it. So what do you think of VMO2? I mean, for them to sort of host this sort of thing, I mean, you got a couple of words for them?
Oh, it's brilliant. It's definitely a good place to fly.
I mean, Virgin Media and O2 backing it as well.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity for the sport to grow, really, because at the end of the day, we are still a greenfield type of sport. But to everyone to see this, it's amazing.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, remember, it's full of metal. This place, so
yes.
It's your pilot's worst nightmare, really. Isn't it? So everyone seems to be coping very well. I mean, it's brilliant. Anyway, tell me, you look a bit slimmer than last time. What was happened?
So I've gone from 22 stone down to 14 stone 5 in about 6 to 7 months.
I'm going to do this diet, by the way.
So yeah, it's been a hard journey, long journey, but it's
you're looking great. Looking
Thank you very
great.
much.
And listen, thanks for your time.
No problem.
And good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. All right, we have kidnapped more people. I want to get in trouble in a minute, stealing all these pilots. Who do we have here?
Hi, my name's Joe, and I fly under the tagline of Orangutan FPV.
Orangutan. I like that. It's going to grow on me. Okay, a couple of questions. So, where are you from anyway?
So I grew up in Cornwall, and
Right.
I've now come from Birmingham.
Wow.
That's where I live and work nowadays.
That's not too bad. Milton Keynes is not. It's a bit of a drive, but anyway. What got you into racing? This is the big question I've been asking everybody.
So I've always been a little bit drawn to remote control, and when I moved to uni and was given a little bit more freedom, I bought a toy drone, and it was rubbish. So I went on YouTube and was like, how do I upgrade this? And then started finding, you can change this antenna and that antenna, and then I found Mr. Steele and the Rotor Right guys.
Yeah, brilliant guys.
Wow, that's what I want to do. So I bought my first Fat Sharks. Like, if I'm going to do the big purchases, I'm going to make sure they're right, and then I'll start buying little bits and pieces as time goes along.
And it just went in from there. So, I mean, tell us about the quad you're racing at the moment.
So this is a slightly older model. So this is designed by a company here in the UK, Fossils.
Okay.
So Fossil Stuff S2. So Smokey, one of the pilots who's flying here today, this was his signature frame 2 years ago. The reason I'm still flying it and I haven't upgraded is because I crash a lot and I need an absolute tank. I don't know if anybody watched the last round, but I was buried in the bleachers.
We did see that. I wasn't sure who it was, but it's held together.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Takes the beating.
This is it. You've got fun. But the most important thing is HDZERO. I mean, what do you think of it?
I love it.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's completely changed the way I want to fly. I put the goggles on now, and it's fully immersive. One of the places I like to practice is in my work,
right,
which is an arena, and it's multipath central. And I just don't want to practice, but now
now you want to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems to just slip onto the Fat Sharks. I mean, that's the what was it, one cable and that's it? You're done.
One cable and that's it. You're done.
Wow.
And I've actually bought a system so I can stick this on a tripod.
Right.
Take one cable out, one cable into my goggles, and one cable into a TV, so my mates can watch if they want to.
That's pretty cool. That is really cool. And obviously, Virgin Media O2, big thanks to them. I mean, do you want to say any words to them for sorting this out?
Just thank you so much. We'd never get an opportunity like this to fly in a venue this amazing. This is iconic, and I didn't think I'd get a chance to fly race in somewhere like this.
Well, I mean, the big thing is as well as the 5G Vista that they're also bringing out around here, which is basically live streaming to your phone over 5G when you're in the trenches here. So, I mean, wouldn't it be great for all this to be packed out for people all watching sort of like 5G Vista, watching what you're watching?
That'd be fun.
Wouldn't it be great?
Fun.
As long as you don't kill anybody.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot.
No
Cheers.
worries, thank you.
Someone else. Hi, buddy, and your name is?
My name's Dan. I go by the pilot name Super Dan.
Super Dan, I like that, Super Dan. And where are you from?
I'm from Worcester originally, but I live in York. I've been there for the last 10 years.
Oh, fantastic. And did you come down just for today, or was you here yesterday?
Yeah, I came down last night, stayed over, got set the hotel.
Fantastic. It is awesome. What sort of gear do you use apart from the obviously the HDZERO? I mean, what radio do you use?
So I'm using a Radio King radio. It's basically like a T18 copy with Ghost.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It's been pretty reliable so far today, and it's pretty happy with it at the moment. And then on to the quad itself, I'm running a TVS Source 2 frame.
Right.
Nice and simple.
Yeah.
Stick LEDs and things on. And then, just like I said, HDZERO, the micro nano cam, with AMAX 2305 motors, and most people are running 2207. Slightly.
Do you think it makes a difference around here? Or?
I think I just prefer the initial bite with 2207 is quite strong.
It's great for
it's nice getting the whole shot off the line. But
yeah.
It's kind of prefer the smoothness.
Fantastic. I mean, I've been watching it, and I think it's amazing what you guys do. I mean, I could probably if it's a truck, maybe I'll be able to get it through. I don't know about those things. But
Yeah, we practice with smaller gates as well, so you get to these ones and they're like, oh, I've got this.
really?
Yeah, but you bounce off them and it's alright.
Oh yeah, I do hear them. It sounds like, I mean, it's great in the stadiums. It sounds like they're playing football.
Yeah.
So the big question, HDZERO, what do you make of it? Do you like it? Would you
I really like it. I still have a couple of pods on analog that I just fly around and drive my little micros and stuff. But I think I really like the frame rate. Like just being, if you go from HDZERO back to analog, it's amazing how far you travel in a frame.
You really see it.
Yeah, you can feel it. I mean, we're having a little bit of lag today in a couple of places, but it's holding up really well.
Well, I mean, when you think about in this stadium, there's a lot of steel, there's a lot of pipe works underneath the ground and everything else. I mean, it's like when you really go far back into, and you're basically in a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
Apart, looking at the screens, it does look really cool.
Yeah, I tried analog this morning with my tiny trainer as well, and that was just like rainbows everywhere.
Yeah,
Lots of multi-pathings.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, glad you're enjoying yourself. I mean, do you want to say anything to Virgin Media 02 for sorting this out?
I mean, yeah, just thanks for getting us involved and giving us this opportunity. It's very rare that we get to do things like this, and it's fantastic to do.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think you guys are fantastic. But anyway, thanks for your time. I'll let you get on racing. All right, I'm ready. What do you mean a kart race? It's HDZERO. Alrighty, so we grabbed someone else. So who are you?
My name's John Rogers. I go by the username of Smoky FPV.
Awesome, awesome. And where you come from?
So I come from Birmingham.
Okay, what, travel today or?
Yeah, it came down this morning.
Damn.
Go back to. No, it's only about an hour and a half.
So it's about the same, yeah. I mean, I'm from sort of down south in Hampshire, and that was about an hour and a half. So that's not bad. So what are you using this drone gear? I mean, I did see this flying about earlier on.
So this is my own drone. So I've got a company.
Yeah, show you want to show people.
I've got my own company, Fossil Stuff. Not my own company, but they make my frames for me.
Okay.
And it's a bit different because we use polycarbonate instead of carbon. Just a bit something being a bit different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it certainly looks good flying around anyway. I mean, I like it. So what do you find that is different between polycarbonate? Is there any special reason for that?
It's just a bit different. So I mean, there's no. I mean, to be honest, it's a bit softer than carbon, but it doesn't break as easy. So carbon can like crack quite easy.
Yeah, yeah.
This is bulletproof.
I mean, they do thump these these gates. I mean, God, you can hear it around the stadium.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I mean, what got you into drone racing? I mean, what's?
So in 2014, I had a motorbike accident,
Okay.
and I was bedridden for about 12 months.
Jeez.
And when I was there, I saw little Luke Bannister racing in Dubai,
Right.
which he won, and I think it was like $1 million he won or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
And while I was recovering, I couldn't do much, and I thought it'd be a good hobby to get into where I'm sat flying my drone. So I started buying, learning about stuff, and got into my first race in 2016, and just
Keep going ever since.
progress from there. Yeah.
I mean, are you back on a bike or?
No, not allowed to.
Not allowed to.
Not allowed to. The other half.
Oh, it's fair play. Yeah.
I mean, if it, I said from day one, if it was my fault,
Yeah.
I'd be on a bike. But
Yeah.
because it was a car that just pulled out from a side street and it's out of my hands, I just wouldn't.
Well, okay. So in your experience, which is great, what do you think of the HDZERO?
I mean, there was before there used to be a HD system out in 2016, and from that it's come a long way, and it is going in the right direction. I mean, this is impressive for me, but I'm still not sure if it's 100% there yet. It's going down the right lines, and I reckon another couple of months of tuning and playing around with new cameras and stuff like that, I think we'll do that.
Well, they're changing around with the pads and antennas at the moment as
Yeah.
we speak. I mean, this is like a Faraday cage. I mean, you've got three-phase power, you've got
Yeah,
pipes
you've got-
and everything else. So, I mean, from the images, it's great. But you think they're going in the right direction?
Oh yeah, 100%. This is definitely the future of drone racing. I mean, analog is, it's
Dead.
dead. It is good analog, but it's what got us into there, and that's moved up. Like from when we first started, the analog cameras were rubbish, and now the best analog camera, it looks HD. It's just you don't have that HD crispness compared to this.
Yeah, it's all about the pixels. I mean, it's a bit like when you watch an old analog film and you like to say, you just don't want it anymore because it's like watching HD is like, optracks in your eyes. It's like, wow. So, but how you guys race so fast, I don't know. I mean, do you want to say a word to Virgin Media 02 for supporting today's race?
I guess, to say thanks for everything they've done, getting us down here so we can demonstrate what we can do and show what we're capable of.
Fantastic. Listen, thanks for your time.
Thank you
Good
very
luck
much.
today.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, so floating around at the back of the stadium, I found a man called Greg, and he's from Menace RC. So let's see what he has to say. So, what do you think of all this HD stuff? Then is it?
Oh yes, yeah. It's coming forward in technology, and HDZERO, it's bringing digital to our FPV scene that we've so much loved with our analog, but digital is now the way. So
Optrex on the eyes, I think that's what it is. It just makes it clear picture. I mean, you're putting a lot of antennas that you sell. We'll put a link down in the description anyway if you want antennas, because I actually get mine from this man as well. So, what are you experimenting with, and what are you finding?
Well, we're in a stadium today, and even with the digital system, there is experiencing some reflections on the waveforms.
Yeah, you're seeing that.
And what we've been trying is just different antennas, just to see if there's an improvement or not on the video signals received. With one pilot, we tried adding patches to remove the omnis, and like you'd experience with the analog systems, if you have omni in a multi-path environment, like a stadium where you're getting a lot of interference, changing those out for patches here is reduce the amount of reflections that you're getting from behind you. So that's cleaned up the signals. So on the main live feeds that are going out on YouTube.
That's upstairs,
yeah, we've just changed over the antennas to patch antennas, and it's made a notable difference. But I think ultimately in a stadium like this, given a bit more time, we will put them in a different location to get the optimum signals from the system. But I don't think you would have been able to fly an analog system here today. It is so bad for multipathing.
Well, the last race I saw streaming from these gentlemen was they was using the analog system, and you come to that sort of like normal, sort of like rainbowy, sort of grainy, sort of like reception. But I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, there's not, since you put the pads on, it's got extremely. I mean, it's amazing up there. I thought it was some sort of other camera. I didn't realise it was the actual camera on the drone. So you can't complain with that in a Faraday cage, basically.
Yes, yeah. It's a terrible environment for it, and it is certainly giving them a good test. So it's very watchable.
Fantastic. Listen, thanks for your time.
No worries. Cheers.
All right, we've kidnapped someone else. The taser's working, I'm telling you. Right, so your name is Sir?
Nigel.
And you go on a tag dog?
I never actually had one.
No way.
But just this year, I thought, well, let's just use my surname, Ross.
Ross FPV. Now, that sounds kind of cool. What sort of drone equipment are you using today?
Switchback Zeros.
Right, okay. And your transmitter?
Radio Master, the Ghost.
You like, yeah, a lot of people are using that. It's really good. Maybe.
Should I say anything on this?
If you don't want to, you don't have to, but improvements.
The Radio Master are sending me a part for it because it's been getting a bit flaky.
Oh, okay. Well, come on, Radio Master, sort it out.
But the after sales service has been great. They are sending me a part.
Really? Yeah, that is really good because these days it's a complete nightmare. So, what got you into drone racing?
Had a camera drone, a couple of camera drones. Seen some YouTube videos. Oh, that looks fun.
This is a bit different now. This is like
I've seen a few YouTube videos of these sort of things.
Yeah.
Built one, started flying, sold the camera drones. It's like, they're boring.
Well, the speed of these things. I mean, you guys are flying like nobody's business. I don't know how you do it. I mean, it's practice, I suppose, but
yeah.
I mean, still, I have bad enough remembering my own name anymore, let alone what the next gate is.
Yeah, that is an issue sometimes.
Well, what do you think of the HDZERO that this is all about today, really?
I've flown it for a while.
Right, okay.
Because I've had it for the best part of the year, something like that. And this is the worst I've ever had it in here. It's the metalwork.
Well, it's a Faraday cage.
It's got to be the metalwork.
I mean, did you try it just with the pads? Without using any other antennas?
No, a few people tried it without omnis and they said it's worse.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a shame. I mean, I might just say some of the pictures are pretty awesome coming back in the rain.
When it's clear, it's lovely. Yeah. But we got so much interference here. It's terrible.
It's bouncing all over the place.
Flying in my normal field and the normal normal course. Never have an issue. Never have an issue. We look at the oddlets, man. It's nothing.
Yeah. Well, you can. I mean,
until someone with DJI plugs in, then you get
Yeah, makes everyone desert. They always have to take over, don't they? They always have to take over. Well, I mean, it's still. I mean, this is a great day for testing this sort of thing. I mean, this arena's fantastic, but like
the
you say,
place is amazing, but maybe wasn't the best place for HDZERO testing. In hindsight,
but it's good actually, because you don't always test in the best scenario, do you? You've got to.
No, true, yeah.
You know, at least they can go back and go, right, this is what we need to do. So, I mean, what do you think of Virgin Media and O2 back in today? I mean, that's got to be special.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, to put something on this on for us.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Well, it's not for us; it's for them, I suppose. For their testing.
Well, it's on the back for 5G Vista as well, isn't it? But it's to put funds into sort of quad racing. I think it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, listen, I'll leave you be. Thanks for jamming the chat. And come on, Radio Master, sort yourself out. There you go. How awesome was that? Yes, it was a tame Dad's RC hanger. But nevertheless, it was still fantastic. It was more about the content man, the pilots, than it was about me. It was the first time, as I say, and I do apologise again for the audio. It wasn't that great, but it's the first time. But I want to do it again, and next time I'll be a bit more prepared and make sure everything's working. It should be working. But what fantastic. The HDZERO system is fantastic. Now listen, all the links are in the description. Take 5 minutes or take a couple of minutes to have a look at them. They will send you all the places of the information that you need to know. And there's a couple of other people filming as well, so I'll put their links down as well. And also there's a link for all about the HDZERO and what it's all about, which I've actually forgot his name. Let's put his name up here in lights. Whoa! Well, not lights, but put his name up there anyway. And he will explain to you everything you need to know about HDZERO. But from a newbie, I think it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, you know, my pips, as you know, sort of, I can't really wear goggles at the moment. I've been waiting till all this crap of COVID is off. So then the shows, the FPV shows, and you can try before you buy. Yeah, and so I can get a quad, because it's not about quads, even though I've got some great quads, as you know. I also want to put FPV in the aeroplanes as well, so get that full immersion experience of flying. So anyway, obviously I'm not flying this weekend, and I doubt many people will be in the UK. But if you can fly anywhere around you and it's nice and everything else, then listen, be safe, keep safe, and most of all, have fun. But hey, listen, all the subscribers out there, out to you. Love you mega loads, if there's ever such a thing. But listen, thanks for popping by. It means the world to me. Ta-da!